What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and I'm actually pretty sure that majority of you guys have heard about this trigger right here. And we're going to talk about this trigger, the positives, but mainly the negatives, how mine is performed, why it's not in a firearm currently, and so on. And we're going to get into that, right? But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. The other day, I did a live on my channel. Every couple months or so, every couple weeks, whatever the case may be, I will do a live. And I like doing that sort of thing because we get to talk. I get in real time, because here's the thing. If I respond to a comment and you respond back to that comment, I never get that notification. So after the first comment I give you guys, it's very hard to find your comment and respond. That's why I like doing lives. You guys can legit ask questions that you need answers to in the moment, recommendations, thoughts. You're trying to troubleshoot a problem you're having, and so on. So I absolutely love doing lives. And while doing that live, I thought I'd make this video because this came up right here. But so did something else. Someone said that I'm a shill, right? And actually what's interesting about that is I have all my emails. I have all my receipts. I keep everything. I have companies reaching out to give me a certain percentage of sales. In this case, they wanted to give me like $20 per trigger sale. All sorts of things, right? And I guess that is shilling. But at the same time, this is the only company I've accepted a coupon code for in order to receive something like that. And I did it because I actually enjoy shooting at the range. I like having fun at the range. I like mag dumping at the range. So I thought this was an absolute awesome product, right? Until we got to the range. And we're going to get into that. But on top of that, during my live, someone said, hey, we were all talking about our carry firearms, what we're carrying today. I had an HK P2000 SK V3 in my pocket, and I had a 43 that I was dry fire practicing with all day right next to me, right? But someone said they were carrying a G-Flex, and nothing against this person. I told them no offense. I literally make this channel to help people. I make this channel to get better ideas, maybe better carry options, different ways to carry, stuff like that. The goal of the channel is not to crap on people. It's literally to help you pick the best carry firearm to defend your life. And what he said is he was carrying a certain firearm with a reflex trigger, right? Now, what is a reflex trigger? Well, in this case, the G-Flex is a binary trigger. You pull the trigger, it goes bang. But also when you release, it goes bang again. So it's a push-pull trigger system, basically. So every trigger motion that you do is going to be 2 rounds. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, right? So it allows you to shoot faster. Well, he said that he was carrying the G-Flex. Here's the problem with that. Like I said, G-Flex offered me $20 for every trigger I sold. And, that sounded great. And, I want people to get products at a decent discount or discounted price if they want them. So I put out the coupon code. Honestly, I don't even know if I sold one. I probably did sell a couple. Probably sold a decent amount. I have never collected on that. This product is absolute terrible. It is absolute trash. I hate to say it. This trigger is trash. First of all, learn how to shoot your stock locks fast. Then there's no need for a binary trigger. But when I heard that the influencers are influencing people literally to carry these triggers, that just completely ruined my mindset on this. If I was a company and sending a product for review, right, I would make sure that on my label, I say, not for carry. This right here says, unleash your Glock. Let that thing go. But people are getting the wrong idea and putting these in their carry firearms. Now, we're going to get into the trigger itself because this is absolutely ridiculous, and we're going to talk about it. Potentially one of the worst trigger actions I've ever used in my life out of any aftermarket trigger ever, and we're going to get into that. But this person in my live said that they're carrying with a G-Flex trigger, and I tried explaining, first of all, you're going to have a hard time being accurate. One, it's hard enough to defend yourself under stress, adrenaline, chaos, and so on. It's even harder to shoot accurately with a binary trigger. Now combine the two. You're exponentially making your situation worse. On top of that, you're sort of wasting ammo. On top of that, if you get stuck with that trigger pulled and you don't need to let any more rounds off, they turn their back on you, you have to hold that trigger down. You literally have to sit there holding it until you can clear that firearm or whatever the case may be, or let that round go. That is a problem. We haven't even talked about getting into courts. Imagine going to court, right? Let's say it was illegal self-defense. They said, what were you using? A binary trigger. Not a regular trigger, but a binary trigger. Now, in my opinion, I think people should be able to carry whatever they want. But at the same time, you have to be smart, and you also have to realize that, unfortunately, sorry. Because a lot of criminals, they'll do violence with firearms, they get out. But in our case, legal firearm owners, if we defended ourselves using a G-Flex trigger, we would be sitting in prison. Trust me, you cannot use a G-Flex trigger for self-defense for legal reasons. But on top of that, they don't freaking work. They don't. This trigger gave me more problems than any trigger I've ever had. And I've tried almost every Glock trigger. I've tried every Apex trigger. I've tried the Johnny Glocks, Wheaton Arms. I've literally tried everything. What else? The Timney Alpha trigger, the Tango trigger shoe. I've tried every Glock trigger. This trigger was the least reliable. Everything grinded. Everything rubbed. Nothing was smooth. Everything about this trigger is an absolute joke. But yet it says, unleash your Glock's full potential. My Glock's full potential is in this configuration right here. I don't need an optic. Show me the last self-defense encounter where you saw someone say, okay, I'm going to stand back and I'm going to find my dot. Send it to me. Flood the emails. You may have seen one. You may have seen two. I have not seen one where they sit back and say, all right, let me find you my dot. Let me get that dot going. No, you're up close and personal. You're point shooting. You're shooting from the hip. You do not have time to look at your sights in 99% of self-defense encounters. This setup right here, a stock Glock with excess fiber optic sights, you'll never have a problem. Or if you do, it's going to be extremely, extremely rare. Throw this in there and you throw off everything about the firearm. These are $250. Guys, you can literally get the best trigger in the everyday carry market, 2 of them, for this price with the Wheaton Arms. You can get a Glock performance trigger for your Gen 5s for $75, and that is the best trigger on the market for self-defense across the board. These are $250. I'm not hating on the company. I'm hating on the fact that this trigger is absolute trash. It's unreliable, and yes, it does what it says when it works. But when you're jammed up, malfunction every time, stuff rubbing, it just, dead triggers, all sorts of stuff. This thing is just not polished and taken care of the way it should. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because these are extremely popular. When they work, are they fun? Oh yeah, they're a blast. But just learn to shoot a regular stock trigger super fast. Trust me, this throws off all your training. It literally throws off everything. That's why I don't get people. They're all like big and bad on the internet and let's train how you live how you train, carry how you train, but yet they're in body armor, helmets, full sizes, ARs. I don't see them out there training with their main firearm the most. And that's what you should do. If you're out there training with a binary and carry a regular trigger, trust me, you're going to mess up your whole flow. You're not going to be as fast as you want to be, as accurate as you want to be, or as accurate as you should be. The G-Flex triggers are fun for the range, like I said. And remember, in that first video that I made about these, I said these should not be carried. I said these should be not used for self-defense. I literally said these are simply a range toy. But in order to pay $250 for a range toy, I need it to work. Thanks for watching, guys.